So we're getting very close to finishing this boat. This would be boat number 3. Boat number 2 is going out of the shop for delivery on this Thursday. And the bottom material for boat number 4 has been joined, and later today we'll start edge fastening that together. So we're got no grass growing under our feet, as my grandmother would say. I did want to talk about the stem. I don't think I've mentioned it before. So the stem of this boat is a wide plank, and this is seen on most Japanese riverboats. Definitely a vast majority of Japanese riverboats. And the reason for it is pretty simple. One is that it increases the buoyancy forward, because so many Japanese rivers have stretches of white water. And so if you had a sharp stem like a sea boat has, and that sharp stem in a sea boat is to cut through the waves easily. But if you had that on a riverboat, headed down river bow first, you could potentially plunge down a rapid and actually bury the bow in the river. And so by widening this, you create a great deal of buoyancy forward. And so that keeps the bow of the boat from submarining. One of the reasons I teach riverboats in my university and my workshop classes is that the increased bending required for the planking for a narrow stem, like a sea boat, generally means bending the planks using an open fire. That's how the Japanese do it. In Europe and America, Scandinavia, we use steam. But in Asia, they bend planking over an open flame. And obviously in a classroom setting, a university setting, a craft school setting, I can't do that. And it's quite an added level of complication. So riverboats just have an easier, gentler curve to them. We tipped the boat on its side, definitely a 2-person job, and decided to take this shot because it kind of gives us, again, a nice look at the curves of the boat. So our next job is to trim off this excess that we left when we nailed the planks on. So I've got this little jig pattern. It's got a 0 offset. Those two faces are perfectly in line with each other. So if I lay that flat onto the bottom and I bring this to the hull, that's my mark. That's our goal. And you can see we've done that on the other side. Okay? We are planing the side planking flush to the face of the stem and the bottom. So that's made a series of marks, connected the dots, and we've got ourselves a line running down the length of the boat. So the camera can pan and maybe get a glimpse of, again, our curve that we put in the bottom, that strange upward curve to the center of the boat. Unfortunately, we've got the sawhorse arrangement to hold this thing safely. The beams are in, the rub rails are on, so once we've trimmed the sides, we'll lay this boat back down flat, and all that remains is to fit the seats and the floorboards. And this boat's ready to ship. I can't think of anything else. Erase the pencil lines. Yeah, so yeah, we will have been, I think, just under 3 weeks of labor to get this boat done, start to finish. And we will finish, I think we'll almost certainly finish boat number 4 by the time I go home at the end of May. And then back in the fall for the final 2 boats of this contract.